Let's think about our I can statement today. Spencer, will you turn around and can you look at our IR, our informative reading I can statement for us? Jay, if you want to help him. Teresa, you want to read this?
I can find links between seemingly details and central ideas.
Group effort, exactly. Okay, so as we talk today, I want you to be thinking about that. Okay, eyes on me, Logan. Okay? Alright, readers, I'm going to be honest with you. I am noticing something in your text. I see something that we're lacking. Okay, and so that's why I think that this lesson is so important. So I want you to be really hyper-focused and eyes up here. If you have a notebook in your hand or a pencil in your hand, you're welcome to take notes, but otherwise, all I need is just you. Okay? We are really good about focusing on the details, right? If you think about in our writing, our ladder of abstraction, we live right in that details, the quotes. We can identify those and we can analyze them, right, till the cows come home. But what we are really struggling with is that we can't connect it to this larger idea. Okay? When I hear you in your reading groups and I look at your reading log, I'm not seeing you connect to a central idea or a theme or anything like that, right, as it's developing. Okay? You're just talking about that most recent thing that you read. And good readers, right, good readers are able to think across multiple texts, across multiple parts of a text, and be able to relate it all sense and bring it all together. Okay? And so I want to share with you something. So I have a really small picture of it, but I blew it up. And please don't talk, but I want you to take a look at this. This is called a mangrove tree. They're found in Florida. Yep, they're normally in water, but I picked this picture so you could really see the roots. Okay, and one of the cool things about this is when I first looked at this, I made the same mistake that I think a lot of people do. I need your hyper-focus right now. If you're not, I want you to excuse yourself. Okay? Right now, I think I could grab one of these branches, right? And I could just rip it off. It looks kind of like a little twig. I could do it. Okay? But I'm here to tell you, you can't. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but they are so interconnected, so woven together that if you pull on one, it's like pulling on all of them. Okay? And readers, that is exactly like our text. Okay, I'm really distracted by you right now. I need this partnership to be better. Okay? And so that is how we have to think as readers. Okay? How are all of our we can't just pull out a piece of text. Right? We have to think, how is it woven together? How is it a root to everything that we do? So today, readers, what I want to teach you is that nonfiction readers know how to do this. Okay? They know that even ideas, right, small little details, people, events that might seem unimportant are related to that bigger central idea. Okay? And so as readers, you have to think. So kind of like our notice and note, you have to ask yourself questions like, how might this fit in, Peyton? Okay? How might these things fit together? And so I want to practice that. So when I was reading last night in prep for our lesson, I read a section of text, right, that our curriculum has thought was kind of important, and I did exactly what you guys do. I read it and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I made a connection to it. Oh, so what? And I kind of kept asking myself that question, but I didn't relate it to our bigger idea, our bigger central idea of fast food takes advantage of people to make more money. I didn't do it. And then as I kept reading through what we're doing today, I was like, oh my gosh, I had my blinders on. Okay, and so I want you to think. I'm going to read you this little piece of text, and I want you to think, okay, how is this fitting? How is this fitting with our bigger picture of fast food? Right, Spence? And so it's about toys, of all things. Toys. Eyes up here. Every month, about 90% of American children between the ages of 3 and 9 visit McDonald's. The seesaws, the slides, the pits full of plastic balls have proven to be an effective lure. But when it comes down to brass tacks, a brand week article on fast food notes, the key to attracting kids is toys, toys, toys. A successful promotion easily doubles or triples the weekly sales volume of children's meals. The chains often distribute numerous versions of a toy, encouraging repeat visits by small children and adult collectors, and who hope to obtain complete sets. And I connected to this right away. I was like, this reminds me of Beanie Babies when I was little. Right? My mom used to take us and we would get the Beanie Babies and we'd collect them all. And then I was like, wait, I have to stop. How does this relate? Right? I could just brush past it and say, oh, cool. One more way that they bring people in. But then I started to think. And there was a section, one of the first days, right, with about the car hops, right? We talked about car hops and how everything, like they used regular silverware, right? And they were sick of teenagers and they wanted more families to come in, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, Miss Decker, what were you thinking? Of course, the toys, the Happy Meals, who has little kids? Families, right? And so that was one more way they were trying to take advantage, right, of people by luring them in and getting families in there to make more money, right? And so I started to connect that. Okay, so can you see now how I started to identify something that was like these little toys, I thought of Beanie Babies, that were so insignificant, and then I pushed myself. I had to study it, and I had to say, okay, this is better, this is bigger than what I'm thinking. It's actually related to my central idea, and I had to push those pieces together, right? Sometimes those puzzle pieces you have to kind of push together to make them fit. So you got to push through this because this is harder than what we've done. Okay, right? But it is still related to our central idea. It's just a little different today. Okay? So the hard part's here. Finding that sort of new information, how does it go together? And the others think about, or finding the new information and think about how they link together. Okay, we read this section about soda. I'm going to pass it out to you. So as I pass it out, make sure you and the person next to you can read it because I only have about 10 or 12 copies. Right, we read this section about soda. It talked about how they market to kids because they have all these years of buying soda in front of them, right? And that was from our Fast Food Nation. And so, right, what I want you to do is how might the part that we just read, that I just read to you about toys, eyes on me, read about toys, how might this fit together with the part that came before, the soda part? Okay? If you can't see me, I want you sitting where you can see me, please. Okay? All right, so you should be able to see a copy right now. You need to be with somebody where you can see a copy. Okay? So, Trista, you scoot that way. Lita, someone right next to you has a copy. The nation's 3 major beverage manufacturers are now spending large sums to increase the amount of soda that American children consume. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Cadbury Schweppes, the maker of Dr. Pepper, control 90.3% of the U.S. market, but have been hurt by declining sales in Asia. Americans already drink soda at an annual rate of about 56 gallons per person. That's nearly 600 12-ounce cans of soda per person. That's almost 2 a day. If you're thinking that's almost 2 a day for every person, just let that sink in. Coca-Cola has set itself the goal of raising consumption. That's not enough for them, right? Of its products in the United States by at least 25% a year. The adult market is stagnant. So, selling more soda to kids has become one of the easiest ways to meet sales projections. Influencing elementary school students is important to soft drink marketers. An article in the January 1999 issue of Beverage Industry explained, because children are still establishing their tastes and habits. 8-year-olds are considered ideal customers. They have about 65 years of purchasing in front of them. Entering the schools makes perfect sense, the trade journal concluded. Fast food chains also benefit enormously when children drink more soda. The chicken nuggets, hamburgers, and other main courses sold at fast food restaurants usually have the lowest profit margins. Soda has by far the highest. We at McDonald's are thankful, a top executive once told the New York Times, that people like drinks with their sandwiches. Today, McDonald's sells more Coca-Cola than anyone else in the world. The fast food chains purchase Coca-Cola syrup for about $4.25 a gallon. A medium Coke that sells for $1.29 contains roughly 9 cents of syrup. Buying a large Coke for $1.49 instead, as the cute girl behind the counter always suggests, will add another 3 cents worth of syrup and another 17 cents in pure profit for McDonald's. Okay? So now, when you talk to your partner, I want you to, really quick, hold on, I want you to think, focus just on this excerpt. What's the idea they're trying to get, what's the author trying to get across in this excerpt? What are we pulling from that? Talk to your neighbor, 30 seconds.
Coffee is horrible and everybody drinks it. And
Okay, 3, 2, 1, come together. Okay. So, right, I heard some things. I heard some of you guys talking about central idea, and kind of at the beginning part, it was that we consume a lot of, like, Americans consume a lot of Coca-Cola, almost 2 per day. That was kind of that was a detail, but I was thinking, like, we buy a lot of Coca-Cola or pop in general, right? Then I was thinking, okay, the bottom is like they're taking advantage of those kids. And then if we talk about how they're all connected, right? If we think about the toys are luring them in, so, right? Do you get a drink with your, just shake your head yes or no, do you get a drink with your Happy Meal?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Automatically, right? It just comes with it. You have to say how you don't want it. It is almost cheaper to buy a meal than if you just want to get a Big Mac and fries, right? They make it so it makes sense for you to buy that Coca-Cola, right? It's almost like you get it in there for free. So thinking about that, so they're almost like, to me, I'm starting to think, are they in cahoots with Coca-Cola, with all these different companies, right? Okay? And so, right, if we think, I want you to go back, our whole thought today is that we are now, that seemingly insignificant toy, right, has now brought us up to this new link to our central idea. One more way they're luring in and taking advantage of families and people. Now it's not just kids and unskilled workers, right? It's families too. Okay? And so it keeps relating to our central idea. And so as you go forward today, because you're going to have 15, 20 minutes here in your reading groups, you talked about central idea the other day. Okay, you talked about central idea. So now what I want you to do today, your task, eyes on me, so you're getting your most important task right now. Okay? When you go back, I want you to focus, I want you to read one page. And then what I want you to do is I want you to tell me in your reading log, how does that fit? How does that fit with the central idea that your group came up with the other day? Okay, because I remember you guys wrote it down. We talked about it, and you wrote it down. If you need to whisper it to your neighbor as you get started, go ahead. Raise your hand and tell me what is your task right now. Put it in your own words. Krista?
Read a page of your book and then like take a part and then write about it and how it like connects with the central idea.
Yep, how our new, maybe seemingly insignificant new little spot, how does that add to our central idea? Okay, when you have that done, continue reading and keep thinking that same thing. Okay, don't just stop with one page, keep going. Maybe one thing that you thought wasn't important, and how can it add? Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think we just have to be careful, you guys. It's really easy to be tempted by those really cool facts, right? Like, oh my gosh, it's 9 cents a syrup. I mean, but is it really all about that? Like, I heard Miss Decker going through it, going, well, this is what it is, and then it kind of moved into this. I mean, you have to consistently be rummaging it through your head. And I keep talking to kids about when they write something, I'm like, I just don't know how to articulate it. Get it written down, and then you can go back and go, oh, that's not relevant. I got to get rid of that. So don't be caught by that really neat fact information to think that's the central idea.
That's so important. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause for us. Okay, really quick, I'm going to answer questions, and we got to get going. Yes, go.